Let me show you how to add authentication to your TanStack Start application using Better-Auth. I'm going to show you how to authenticate the app, sign in and sign out, as well as handle authenticated routes, API routes, server functions, and tRPC routes. There's a lot to do. Let's get right into it. All right, so this is the Better-Auth homepage. We're going to use this when it comes to getting started and setting up Better-Auth. But to do that, I'm going to use the Create Start App module. I'm going to call our app Better-Auth Setup. And of course, all that code is available to you for free in GitHub, and a link in the description right down below. And we're going to add some add-ons. We're going to add on tRPC because we're going to want to know how to authenticate that, as well as Shadcn because I want good-looking buttons. All right, let's go. All right, we got that all installed. Let's bring it up in Cursor. Okay, here's our app. Let's go and fire it up in the console with pm-dev. And there we go. Everything looks good. Okay, let's go back over to our Better-Auth page. We'll go to Get Started, and we'll see how we get started with this thing. Installation. First, we're going to do a pm add Better-Auth. Next up, I'm going to set my environment variables. I'm going to create a .env file, and I'm going to put in there the auth secret. I'm going to have it generate a secret. Sure, no problem. All right, looks good. The next thing we want to do is get our auth URL. This is the base location for the app. So in dev mode, it's going to be on localhost. All right, now the docs have you actually using a database for this. I want to use a social login. So for that, I'm going to use GitHub. So let's go and set up a GitHub OAuth app. So I'm going to go over here to new OAuth app. I'm going to call this Better-Auth Setup. I'm going to set the homepage URL. So what do I use for this authorization callback URL? Well, let's go back over to our docs, search for GitHub. And right here, it says that the redirect URL should be set to API auth callback GitHub. So let's drop that in there. Now, one of the things about GitHub in particular is you're going to want to have two of these OAuth apps, one for dev mode and one for production mode, because they only allow for one authorization callback URL per OAuth app. So you're going to have two to do a dev mode and a production mode setup. All right, let's register that application. Now we need two things out of here. We need the client ID. So I'll go back to our code. We'll create two environment variables, GitHub client ID and GitHub client secret. I'll get the client ID, paste that in there, and then I will generate a new client secret. I'll copy that and paste it in here. Now this OAuth app is going to be long dead by the time that you see this video, so don't worry about the fact that I just leaked credentials to you. All right, so next up, we've got to create our initial OAuth setup. So let's go back over into our app. So where am I going to put that? Well, I think I'm going to put that over in lib. You can put this in maybe an auth directory, whichever way you like it. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a Better-Auth instance. So I'm going to create that in a file called auth.ts. So I'm going to import the Better-Auth function from Better-Auth, and then I'm going to use that function to instantiate our Better-Auth instance. That's going to give us back auth, which we're going to export from this module. And then I get to define all of my providers. So I could have lots of social providers. I could have a database provider as well if I want to manage my own emails and passwords. In this case, because we're just using GitHub, I'm just going to use GitHub here. And then I'm going to pass in those environment variables that we just created. All right, so now if you remember back here with our Better-Auth setup, we have this authorization callback URL. Well, we need to actually make that API route. So that's got to be API auth and then callback GitHub. So let's go back over here to our cursor and let's go make that API route. To do that, let's go into routes and add one for API, auth, just like we saw. And then we give it the $, which says that anything after this point we match on, and just give us that as a parameter. And then .ts. And then in that file, we're going to bring in the auth that we just created over in libauth. And then we're going to create our API endpoint. And that's going to handle two different things. It's going to handle a GET and a POST request. And we just send those off to the auth handler. And there you go. Now, when GitHub calls us back, it'll call back to that API route. So now that we have the server side of this all set up, we need to go and create the hooks and all that. That's going to allow us to integrate this into our React app. To do that, I'm going to create a new file called auth client. And in there from Better-Auth React, I'm going to bring in create auth client. And I'm going to get from that, use session, sign in, sign out, sign up, and get session. Now in dev mode, I'm going to point this at localhost 3000. You're going to want to have a switch between dev and prod mode so that you can point it at the prod mode API endpoint when you're in prod mode. All right, so as I said, I wanted some good looking buttons. So let's bring in shadcn's button, and let's start building out our app. So let's go over to the index route. That's the homepage route. And I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. All right, there we go. Nice and clean. I'm also going to go over to our root. And down here, I'm going to set this to dark and give it a little padding. I don't want to burn your eyes out with stark white websites. So let's bring in that button that we just created from shadcn, as well as from that auth client that we just created, use session. That's our hook for the session, as well as the functions for signing in and signing out, because that's the first thing we're going to want to do. All right, so in here on our app, let's use that use session hook to go and get the session. Now add some flex boxes to kind of contain the layout. And then inside that flex box, I'll create our first button, and that's going to be our sign in button. So if we don't have a session, we're going to want to go and give ourselves a sign in button. Let's hit save and see what it looks like. Go over here, and now, hey, we got our sign in button. Let's click on that. Looks good. Authorize it. And there we go. I think we're logged in. Well, let's find out. So we'll go down below there and we'll say, if we have a session, then say that we're signed in as that user. All right, let's give it a go. And there we go. Client is signed in as me. Awesome. So now that we're signed in, let's give us a way to sign out. To do that, we can check if we have a session. And if we do, then we give them a button for signing out, and we just call that sign out function. And there we go. Now we can sign out and we can sign back in again. So easy. All right, so now we know the kind of basic mechanics of how to sign in and sign out, this time using a social provider. So I've got signin.social with provider GitHub. You can have as many buttons with as many socials as you want, as well as database stuff with forms, with the login and email and all that. Really, Better-Auth is about the mechanics of all of this, and it leaves the UI, in this case, primarily to you to go and implement. If you don't want to handle building out that UI, then maybe a hosted provider like Clerk or WorkOS is a better option for you. They not only handle the UI, but all kinds of sophisticated features on top of authentication systems. All right, so next up, let's create an authenticated route. That's a route that if you hit it without being authorized, it'll go back to wherever you need to go to log in, which in this case would be the home page. So we're going to call that route dashboard. So you need to be logged in order to go to the dashboard. All right, let's go create that route. So I'll go over here at routes, create dashboard.tsx, and immediately pm start creates that route. So I'm going to hit save here. All right, now let's click on dashboard, and yeah, I've got hello dashboard. That's great. Of course, I'm signed in, but we'd want to check that. We want to make sure that you are signed in. So let's go and build that. So to do that, I'm going to build a loader function on this route, and that loader function is going to check to make sure that we are authorized. And if we're not authorized, then it's going to redirect us back to the home page. Now, loader functions are interesting because they're actually run either on the server or on the client, depending on whether you're doing a soft or hard navigation. So just to kind of normalize that and make it easy, we're going to use a server function to go and check whether we are authorized or not. So let's go and create some TanStack server functions for our auth. So we'll create a server function called getUserID, and it's going to get back the user ID from the context and then give that back to us. So if there's a user, then we'll get an ID. If we don't have a user, then we won't get an ID and we'll know that we are logged out. But we don't actually have that context yet. So in order to get that context, we're going to create some middleware. So I'm going to create another file in here called auth middleware, and that's the middleware that we're going to attach to this server function. So on TanStack Start, you use create middleware to create your middleware. And you got a couple of different options about where that middleware can run. You can run on a client or run on the server. We're going to run it on server. So we can use .server to specify we want it on the server. And then we're going to use get session from auth client. And the trick here is that since we're calling it on the server, we actually need to give it the headers that are coming in from the client and forward those on to that API endpoint. So that's why we're using the fetch options and getting the headers from the incoming request. And then once we've got our session, we can pass that on to the server function using context. And then we give it user, and we give it the ID, the name, and the image if we have those, or those will be null or undefined if we don't. All right, so now we've got our middleware. Let's go and bring that into our server function. So we just import it, and then we add it to the array of middleware that we have for getUserID. All right, now that we have our server function, we can go and authenticate our route. So to do that, I'm going to add the before load callback on create file route. It's going to go and fire off that request to get the user ID and return it. And then down in my loader, I'm going to use that context. I'm going to go and see if there was a user ID that we got through that server function. And if there is, I'll just pass it on so we can use it in the page, or I can use it to go and make database lookups for that particular user, do all kinds of fun stuff with that user ID. But if it's not there, then we want to redirect back to our home page. So I'll bring in redirect, we'll bring in that get user ID. And then just to make sure that that's working, let's go down here and get that user ID. And then we'll display that user ID. All right, here we go. Now let's go over to our dashboard. And as we can see, we got the user ID, so everything's looking good. Now let's give ourselves a sign out button so we can make sure that that route is authenticated. We'll bring in the sign out function, and then down here, we'll use that sign out function, but on success, we want to actually navigate back to /. To get that, we bring in the use navigate hook, and that gives us back the navigate function, and let's give it a go. All right, we got our sign out button. Let's sign out. And now let's try and go to dashboard directly. Can't do it because it's authenticated and we're not auth in. So let's sign in again, go to our dashboard, and there we go. Now we kind of already have seen how to authenticate server functions, but let's just go through it one more time and add another server function that will give us the current avatar. Now over in our middleware, we did get back the user image down here. So let's create another server function. We'll call it getAvatar. We'll use that auth middleware to get the context with our user, and then we'll return that user image. And now let's go over to our dashboard route and try it out. So let's run this one off the client. We'll use useState to hold the avatar, and we'll use useEffect to actually make the call to getAvatar. And then assuming we have an avatar, let's give ourselves a little avatar image. Let's hit save. And there we go. Now we've got our avatar looking good. Okay, so now we know how to sign in, sign out, authenticate routes, and authenticate server functions. We'll talk about how to authenticate API routes. All right, let's create a new server route called /API/name, and it'll just return my name if I'm logged in. Okay, so it automatically built us a API file route. Let's bring in our auth client. Now with that client, we can use that client to get the session. To do that, we use auth API get session, and then we give it the headers. If we don't have a session, we can return unauthorized. But if we do have a session, let's just return JSON with my name. All right, let's go back to our dashboard. All right, now this time let's try something a little bit different. Because we brought in tRPC, we automatically got TanStack query. So let's use TanStack query to call our new /API/name route. We'll give it a query key of name. Next up, we'll give it a query function where you fetch that API name, and we'll get back our data, call that username, and let's just JSON stringify it down here to see what we got. All right, let's give it a go. And there we go, nice. So that's hitting that API endpoint and getting back our username. All right, the last thing I want to cover is how to authenticate tRPC routes. So let's go back over here and start on our tRPC stuff. So that's over in integrations tRPC. And we want to go and add some context to our tRPC system. And that context is going to have our session in it. So to do that, we create a new function called create context. And what create context does is create the context that has our current session in it. And we use that auth API get session, just like we did before. We give it the headers, and that brings us back our session that we then return as context. Now we need to add on to our init tRPC and say that we have a context, and it's a type of create context. So when do we create this context? Well, we create this context anytime we get a tRPC request, which actually be over here in our API tRPC handler. Just like we have API auth, we also have API tRPC, same kind of idea. So we'll bring in that create context that we just created, and then down in our fetch request handler, that's what handles all the incoming requests. We'll take the request that we just got, we'll call that create context, and we'll give it that request, and that's going to give us back our context. So now we have the session coming in. What we want to do is create a protected type of procedure, one that says, hey, this procedure can only get called if you're authorized. So let's go back into our init TS, and we can see that we have a public procedure. Let's go and create the corresponding protected procedure. To do that, we call the use function on procedure, and we add in essentially middleware into it. So we're saying, cool, if we don't have a session, then throw a tRPC error. Otherwise, just continue on. So this is what's actually doing the authorization. So we're taking a look to see, do we have a session as part of that context? And that session comes from this create context, which in turn gets routed through this fetch request handler, and then back here into this context right here. We got our session, but if we don't, we're going to do a tRPC error. Otherwise, we're just going to let it flow on. All right, so now that we have a protected procedure, let's actually try it. So go over here to router. We'll bring in protected procedure that we just created, and we'll create a protected procedure. So we'll call that procedure current username. It'll go and get the session username. Let's hit save and try it out. Go over to our dashboard. Now bring in use tRPC to get our tRPC handler. And then we'll use TanStack query and its integration with tRPC version 11 to call that current username, that protected procedure that we just created. And let's see, we should get back this username from tRPC. Let's give it a go. So username from tRPC with our JSON stringified output. Let's give it a go. And there we go. Now we got our username from that tRPC endpoint. But the cool thing is you have to have a session in order to call that endpoint. Otherwise, you get that unauthorized response. All right, there you go. The basic mechanics of how to bring in Better-Auth into your TanStack Start application and authenticate it basically everywhere you'd want to inside of the application. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to put that in the comment section right down below. And if you like the video, please hit that like button. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button and click on the bell and you'll be notified the next time a new Blue Collar Coder comes out.